came down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be raised again from the dead. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why? Why then say the scribes that Elijah must first come? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Elijah truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you, till Elijah is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they but have done unto him whatsoever they least, likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spoke unto them of John the Baptist. This is the end of the scripture reading this morning.
Thank you very much, Dehat. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I'm good.
Wonderful. Good to hear. How the girls?
Everybody all right for the time.
How the dog?
The dog good?
All right, my darling. Take care of yourself, yeah?
Yeah, you too. Have a wonderful day.
You too, my love.
Okay,
bye-bye. Good, real 91.9. 25 already after the hour. You know, hey, stay with us. We've got, what you call it? The weather report.
Unfiltered truth, cultural pride, and the power of radio to amplify voices in Grenada. Whoa! Tuning on the spice side, where the airwaves free read. A night for my night. On the radio see. Whoa! No sugar-coated lyrics, no fabricated vibe. Just the raw truth that flow like Mount Kwakwa Tribe. To St. George, this the people them a shout real expression now. I let your heart pour out. Microphone.
As we continue to trug along in the morning time at 26 minutes nowadays after the 7 o'clock hour at the Morris Bishop International Airport Meteorological Office is none other than our dear friend Nicole Jones. Good morning, Nicole.
Hi, good morning to you and your listeners. Here's the weather for today, Tuesday, the 3rd February, 2026, as recorded at Morris Bishop International Airport. Presently, the weather is partly cloudy with vicinity showers to the south-southwest. Winds are from the east at 13 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is 16.1 millibar, which is above normal and rising. The present temperature is 25.9 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 86%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.1 degrees Celsius. Last night's min was 25.6 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, trace millimeter was recorded. Hence, the total for the month remained at 0.3 millimeter. Now we move to the public forecast valid for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy and hazy with light to moderate morning showers, becoming fair as the day progresses. Maximum temperature 30 degrees Celsius. The winds are expected to be east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas moderate with wave 5 to 7 feet and easterly swells. A small craft advisory is in effect. Low tide today will be at 10 a.m., high tide at 4:30 p.m. Sunset 6:10, sunrise 6:31. Just repeat the public forecast valid for today and tonight. Partly cloudy and hazy with light to moderate morning showers, becoming fair as the day progresses. Reporting from the Morris Bishop International Airport, I'm Nicole Jones. Do have yourself a wonderful morning.
Thank you very much, Nicole. And did you find out what would happen if the moon doesn't shine?
But you have days when the moon doesn't shine. The moon does not shine.
Oh, really?
No, yeah, you had days when it's just part of the moon shining, nothing doesn't really happen. You could tell me what has happened?
No, I don't know yet. I try to know from you. You the met officer, not me. According to my grandmother, you had gone study the thing, not me, girl.
You study the book, you study the weather.
Anyway, dear heart, have a wonderful day, yeah?
Okay, you
okay, bye-bye now. Great.
Okay,
28 minutes after the 7 o'clock, having a good bit of fun there with dear Nicole Jones at the Morris Bishop International Airport Meteorological Office.
And the power of radio.
We are who we are, unique and distinctly different to the other. We are indeed Real FM.
My side, where the airwaves free. On the radio sea.
From the struggle to strength, Grenada forever.
No sugar coat
Grenada at 52, anchored in faith
vibe.
and guided by what?
Fruit a flow like mountain.
Anchored in faith and guided by what? Guided by purpose.
From Grand Anse to St. George, this the people them a shout. Real expression now, I let your heart pour out. Microphone to the heavens, the signal strong and clear. Voices of the voicelessly oppressed, the sincere. Real FM are the vessel, your message fill the air. Speak your truth, Grenada, where your heart there. Real express.
Oh yeah!
Connect
This morning it promises to be really nice, eh?
reflection.
Tuesday with a difference, right?
Hear the nation sing. Real FM this
And yeah, I do. Do I have a guest? Yeah, I do. Interesting guest this morning. He was on before, sometime last year. I don't remember exactly when last year.
feels to the harbor. Hear the nation sing. Real FM this
He was on before,
man chant the blues. Farmer hymnary.
and he's going to be on again this morning.
The radio no silence the struggles.
So
Amplify the joy, the pain.
we'll find out how he's been doing
Making of the rhythm, cocoa in the bass. Real FM hold
for the past couple of months. Not hearing from him. So yeah, that's gonna be it this morning. Who is it? No. Anne-Marie Celestine Grant. Good morning.
weak heart.
Jeffrey Hagley.
We are go
It's a kind of new name. Maybe not new to the chat, but it's like first time seeing it. Joanne Francis, good morning to you. Joycelyn Francois.
every Sunday.
Jerome Kenneth Lewis inside of Toronto. Theresa Joseph, good morning to you. Kathleen Ledlow, what's happening? What's popping? What's taking place?
When the storm take the
Kathleen Halley Douglas.
repair. Real FM 90.
Not Kathleen, Faithlin Laundry. What's wrong with you? Faithlin, how are you doing? Faithlin, ask your daughter to call me, please. It's like she forget me? What, boy? Shoma Jeremiah, good morning to you. Maxine Belvon. Shirley Scarrett, what's up? Angel, the map girl. Continuing to map your way. Maxine Belfon again. Gemma Warwood, top of the morning to you. Roslyn Jones, how you doing? Mattison, how you doing, girl? How's Jeff? Adrian Watts. Winnie Simon, good morning.
Real expression.
Alban Harris, you ticking guy. Claude Abraham, how you doing? Agnes Henry.
91.9.
Anastasia Peterson. Top of the morning to all you lovely people checking it out.
Frequency alive.
Yeah, we have a guest this morning. Definitely.
Grenada's voice rise.
Oh, I just received a bit of information that I know I'd love to share with you.
The frequency alive. No head.
It's been a new date for the Telescope All Down Fest. And that new date is today, the 3rd day of February. Yeah. From 7 p.m. until you say when, I guess. The Telescope Junction. So they're inviting you to that. It's organized by the New National Party. So go on out, taste all you can. Eat all you can if you can.
Real vibration. 91.9, the soul of the nation. Keep the fish.
So Thursday? No, hold on. Let me double check and see when is this thing, yeah? Because I want to get that thing tied up. So yeah, it's Friday. Friday is dress down day. Yeah, man. Friday is dress down day. So look out for that. Me, I don't even know what I'm going to be wearing as yet, but I want to do so and come out, shocking, man, shockingly. Has anybody ever red shoes that I can borrow? Size, what size? 11? Has anybody ever red shoes that I can borrow?
Hear the airwaves
Yeah, I forgot what to put on the red shoes.
on the radio sea.
That's how crazy I can be, eh?
Oh,
Nobody got red shoes? What's up with you guys? Can't even do so and afford a pair of red shoes? As if I am not a person too.
try.
Good morning to you, Christine Utley. How you doing?
From Grand Ends to St. George, this the people them a shout real expression now.
Our guest should be on it maybe in about 10 minutes or so. Yeah. Should be. So don't worry now. Yeah, don't get it twisted there. We take a commercial break though, but just remember, yeah, Friday, I gotta do something special for Friday, boy. You know, I kind of forget. I just remember that Friday is just down there. What are you gonna do with the rest of your life? What are you gonna do? Dee-da-dee-da-do. Yeah. Good morning, Alice. How you doing? Alice, do you have a pair of red shoes? Not heels, eh? No, not heels. No, I don't do the heels thing. Like, you know, stand up on your what do they stand up on? That part of their foot. How you call it? Yeah, for the whole day. I don't know how they do that. Christine said green shoes would be better. No, I want red shoes. Red shoes. Yeah, red. Yeah. Red shoes, that's it. Yeah. I don't know green shoes on the red. I can put together something, man. I'm gonna wear the colors. I'm just gonna wear the colors on that day. Yeah, I'm gonna wear the colors. But I want red shoes. Anybody got red shoes, please? Let me see if somebody do some comments. Say, yes, Andre, I got red shoes, but I live in Canada. Well, FedEx the shoes. Ain't you good FedEx thing? FedEx the shoes. Oh no, not FedEx. You have to UPS or yeah, FedEx. Yeah, man. Good FedEx. I can get it in time, of course. But remember, you paying the cost, eh? Red shoes, size 11. Go out in the store and purchase it. And let me know now if you're doing it and you're going to FedEx it, yeah? So you could say, oh, that shoes is when they made a FedEx it for him. Don't let it talk. Don't let it play bright. Free shoes you wearing. That's the idea. I don't mind. I don't mind if you want to give me, I won't refuse it. Of course, I won't refuse it. What is Christine Alexander saying? Yellow would look good, Mr. Donald. Yeah, yellow would look really good, but I ain't wearing no yellow shoes. I'm telling you that. Yeah, I ain't wearing no yellow shoes. Why? Just don't like yellow as a shoes. I wear yellow in other things. Look at somebody saying, well, if you wear yellow, you're supporting NDC. No. Well, yes, if I wear yellow, that's their color. But so send me gold shoes instead. Gold shoes. Gold, that's not the color. Gold is not the color. Chrissy Batiste, good morning, girl. How you doing? Yeah. People are sending me all kind of thing and they expect me to. Let me tell you something, eh? One of the things that y'all do so and send me. Yo, you know, I haven't heard from my friend Strika for a while, boy. Strika, what you sing, girl? I ain't hear you for a minute. I ain't know what's going on with you. You must do something, you know. Link a brother up now, girl. What's up with you? What's up, girl? Yeah, where's my guest? Oh, it's supposed to be about 7:45, I guess. Yesterday was what, the 2nd? Yesterday was the 2nd. And the Grenada Port Authority, they had to send out an apology yesterday for late payment of salaries to staff members who did not receive their January 2026 salaries within the usual time frame. These payments will be made, it was supposed to be made yesterday. I hope y'all got y'all pay. where those staff members have been adversely affected by late payment fees on loans, the GPA will reimburse members following the submission of the documented evidence. Oh, yo. So government are losing money again now. Yeah. Because you had to pay them, and then you still had to pay the arrears, or the fees, the late fees in the banks and the credit union, and so you still had to pay that. Uh-oh, that's not good. Come on, government, you could do better than that, or you should be doing better than that. Yeah, you can't allow that. How I know that? I tell you, I was just noting, that was sent out to all staff members from the general manager of the Grenada Port Authority, dated the 2nd day of February 2026. Subject late payment of salaries to some staff members. They say some, but I believe it's all. I can give you the reference number, but I wouldn't. If I give you the reference number, you go know where I get my information. No reference number shall be given. Good morning, Jillian Thomas. How are you doing? Jillian, gold shoes? I don't want yellow shoes. Yellow? Yeah, yellow is not part of our flag. Did you know that? Yeah. Yellow is not part of our flag. We don't have any yellow in our flag. That's a counterfeit. That's a fake flag. Yeah. Our flag is red, green, and gold. Oh, yellow. Mad? Doing this thing. So who's gonna send me the gold shoes? Nobody? Not one of you gonna do something, provide the gold shoes for the brother? I mean, yeah, actually I'm waiting on our guest this morning to sign in. But I believe I sent the thingamary for him already. But let me send it again. Andre, send it again. Okay, we going this way. Yes, and then we going this way. So I send it twice. Send, and away, away we go. Bingo. Right. So we sent it again. I don't mind. I'm looking in the messages there and the messages on my phone to see who is going to send me those shoes. Tell them. A what? Watch thing. Look at. I'll just see. Christine, what? Christine hot as gas, And then what, my friend Grant? What shoes we papa? Gold slippers and all. We papi. All you happening, people. All you real happening, boy. I don't mind if you. All right. Good morning, Andrea Donald and the Real FM family. Natalia says good morning. Good morning to you, Natalia. How are you doing this morning? Right. So our guest should be on. Well, I've seen some things there, but we'll be speaking with that guest just around 7:45. It's now 7:42. Oh, you wanted to see me. You didn't see me for the morning yet. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that you can see me, yeah? Make sure nothing in blocking and everything like that. Yeah. Put on a little bit of shirt there. Yeah. Tie? No, I ain't tie this week. I no tie. Maybe I might wear tie on dress down there, but I didn't think I want to wear tie this week. Yeah. Right, so that's me. Good morning. How you doing? Everything okay? My guest? Yeah, my guest is there, man. My guest is there. Let me see. Yeah, my guest sit down and organize. Wait, no, my guest wearing tie? No, man. No. Tie just, my guest just smoothing up like this. If you see my guest smooth up and thing. and brush hair off and a little bit of lint there and take it out and think, we papi. Yeah, so it's 7:43. We're going to take a couple of commercials and then we're going to come back to the guest, right? And add him. Who's the guest? I tell you all is to, when I get up to, if I ain't get up to 200, I ain't bringing on the guest. We had to get up to that number first. So go call your friend, call a neighbor. It's a guest that you all will really enjoy. Have I spoken to the guest before? Yes. Is it male or female? Should I tell? Male. Yeah. So at least I told you that. Stay with us. This is Real 91.9.
Real expression on 919 Real FM. Unfiltered truth culture.
In Grenada, we supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sissons.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sissons.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sissons. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further than the Chameleon Design Studios, the creative powerhouse behind Key Central and dozens of standout brands across Grenada and beyond. From web designs, animations, and motion graphics to custom video productions, we bring your visions to life with unmatched efficiency and professionalism. Need a logo? Logo design starts at just $1,500, and our starter pack includes brochures, call cards, and letterheads. Whether you're launching a new business, revamping your identity, or telling your story visual, Chameleon Design Studios is the new face of designs. Call us now at 1473-422-8601 or scan that QR code. Follow us on Instagram at chameleon_473. Let's communicate. Call us today.
Real expression on 919.
So I give you the opportunity for the next minute to just try to, let me see if anybody can guess who's my guest this morning. Aha! Does anybody know who my guest is this morning? I tell you, I told you it's male. And have I ever had that person on the show before? Yes, I've had the person on the show before. And we had quite an interesting conversation. So who do you think the guest is? Who do you think the guest is? Come on. Let me hear. Can anybody tell me who the guest is? Joanne Francis says you're not here in Igwe. Oh, let me tell you something. You have to look for that on Wednesdays and Fridays, Joanne. All right? Soon to be again on Sundays. But that's why. So yeah, who do you think our guest is? Nobody's gonna make a try. God, come on, MF. Who do you think our guest is this morning? MF. Let me hear. Let me see what you're gonna say. Let me see. Kathleen Knights, Faith Lynn, what happened? Florence, Cyrus. Who do you think our guest is? Well, I guess none of you are going to try to guess who our guest is. Let me see. I'm waiting. I'm giving you 10 more seconds. Doc? Angel Map says Doc? No, no, no. He's not Doc yet. Maybe he'll be Doc one day. Never know. No, not Doc. Doc. Let me see. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm going to give you 15 seconds. I'm going to count. 1, 2. After 2 comes 3, right? Mr. Pierre? Emma's husband? No, 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 no. Mr. Pierre, Emma's husband? No. So that's 3. Now, who do you think our guest is? Yeah, it's a very interesting gentleman. 4. Come on, any more guesses? 5. Soon come up to 6. Nobody else? Nobody else is gonna make a guess? Marilyn, where are you? Let me see. Did Marilyn send me a message? No, no, no. 7. 8. Mr. Pierre? No, 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 no. 9. After 8 is 9, I think. Yeah, 9. 10. Ooh, 5 more to go. Let me see who else. Mr. Batiste? No, no. I'd love to have him one of these days, but no, he's not that fortunate this morning. 11. 12. Touch him and identify him. Touch him. 14. 15. None of you are able to identify the guest after I counted to 15. What a shame. But nonetheless, we're going to add our guest to the profile this morning, And I'm not even going to introduce him. As soon as he's added, he will know when he's added, and he can say good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Somebody says Glenn. Who the hell is Glenn? I don't know who is Glenn. Is your second name Glenn?
Not at all.
I'm sort of hearing you distant, but let me just fix an echo that will be on my end. Let me just fix that, and then I hope that is calling there. Are you there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there.
All right, that's a bit better. It's just a bit. Let me just do some adjustment. You have some wind on your end, yeah?
Yeah, I'm taking a little morning sunlight and breeze.
Yeah, well, you'll have to close that window. You have to close that window because we're getting some serious effects of the wind.
All right, give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure, no problem. This is Real 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. Yeah, so we haven't. Oh, there, that was Mr. Diali. You didn't realize. All right, we'll get back to him. Yeah, so I think. Let's see. I think that he would have solved. No, he's gonna solve the issue in a while and then rejoin us as it relates to our program. That's Mr. Diali that we have in this morning. Yeah, let's hear from him. We haven't heard from him in a long while, so let's hear from him this morning and hear how he's doing, what he's doing, when he's doing it, and what's going on down in the south of the island. What's happening in the south of the island. So, in a couple of ticks. All right. How do you spell my name? I'm just trying to figure that out, I almost forgot how to spell my name. Yeah, I kind of remember now how to spell my name. Okay, so Sherman Jeremiah is saying, Mr. Diali, good morning. Christine Alexander is there. Somebody wanted to say Glenn, and they said Glenn. Well, no, it's not Glenn. It's Diali. So as soon as he gets back, we'll start our discussion with him and try to find out, hey, what's he doing? How's he, how's he handling things down in the south of the island. Somebody sent me a message. I'm going to check quickly and see what that message is. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. Okay, well, oh, he's gone. I guess he'll be back. Yeah, dropped out of the thingy. So I guess he will make a return shortly. So in the meantime and between time, best thing to do is to engage you in something else. All right. We have to understand and we have to know. Because some people meet me and ask me, "Oh, Andre, why is the government having so many problems?" Well, it's a simple thing, yeah. It's a simple thing. Grenadians did not realize what they were doing. It is putting your country in a serious maze. You know the maze is those things where you can like never find your way out, kinda. Yeah, it's like putting your country in a serious maze when you elect individuals who've had absolutely no experience as it relates to governance of a country. When you do that, you're in serious problems. And this is why Grenada has found itself in this particular situation at this particular point in time. It's unfortunate. But what is important, my biggest lesson from this, is democracy at work, eh? Yeah. My biggest lesson from this is democracy at work. The process, the democratic process that existed in 2022, I pray and hope that the same process will continue to exist when the next general elections are called. Oh, I think that he's sorted himself out now. Let's see. Yeah, I get the impression that he sorted himself out. And let's return and say again, good morning, Brother Diali. You're back with us.
Good morning, Andre, to you and all your viewers. I apologize for little technical difficulties, but I'm glad to be back on right now.
Well, I tell you what, you didn't even need to apologize, because you sound so much better and you look a lot better too.
Thank you.
You look really, really lovely this morning. And thanks, of course, for being part of the program. I love the fact that you accepted. So again, it's like the same time we were here last time when we did the 20 questions. We're gonna do like the 20 questions again. It's another Tuesday. We try to mix them up. Maybe
Not a problem.
maybe some of the same may return, but nonetheless, we'll try to go through it. Let me ask you this. This is not part of our, but how have you been? How have you been? How's Kiswe been?
I mean, Andre, I'm extremely good, to be honest. Today is a lovely day. The sun is up. It's another new day in the beautiful south of St. George's in Grenada. So I am blessed to be in this paradise that we call home. So I'm doing very well, hopeful, and ready to handle all the work that it takes to become the next candidate for the south of St. George.
All right. How's mom? How's dad?
Dad and Mama are doing much better than me, actually. They're
Oh,
making they actually making plans for the retirement and all the
oh,
vacation they're going to take.
okay, okay. The other thing I must ask, the mushrooms.
Yes, man. How's it? It's
How's
going very well.
it's going well? Did
Yeah.
you do you remember last time you spoke to me? You said you're going to move to somewhere inside the city. Did you?
Yes, I did. I moved offices to the tongue of St. George, and I have someone training up to take over the mushroom business for me right now.
Okay, but you still growing the mushrooms in the south?
Yeah,
No,
well, yeah, in the south.
in the south, but the
Yeah,
offices are in the town.
yeah.
Okay, how the mushrooms doing though? Where do you sell them, Chris?
I do it mostly to private consumers right now because I haven't been up to commercial levels in a while. Because, to be honest, operating a mushroom farm is really almost a 24-hour job.
Mm,
So to be able to dedicate the time that I am right now to what I'm doing, it takes a lot of time away from mushrooms. So I had to find someone who was just as interested in the mushroom process and growing to help like train, and eventually they will become my partners in like making sure the mushroom farm is continuing going on as I do other things.
Okay. Okay, great. But I'm happy that the mushrooms, mom and dad is okay, the mushrooms are okay, you okay, and that is what is important to us this morning. All right, let's jump into it. Let me see if I can pull some things out that you don't want pulled out. I'm gonna try to, of course. So tell us though. First question for you. How has it been being a caretaker?
Andre, that is not such a simple answer to say it's been a good experience, or I had like it has been a very deeply fulfilling experience. I really didn't expect the nuances of being a caretaker, dealing with a lot of people, hearing from a lot of people, and kind of get into the weeds of what happens in my community in a very deeply personal way has been something that has probably invigorated me deeply, who has kind of inspired me to think more broadly and to see other perspectives in the society. So I think it has been a greatly humbling experience, first of all. I'm glad I had the opportunity and my party trusted me with that responsibility, because it has been something that I has kind of come from blindside how much I have enjoyed the role, and also what has meant to me being so deeply involved in my community and trying to help in the whatever way I can. So it is a deeply changing situation. Every day has its own um, problems, highs, lows, sacrifices. But every day that I sit back and I chill with my dog at the end of the evening and I have something to eat, I'm very much filled deeply, my soul is filled deeply with love of my community and love of my country. So I am saying, for being a caretaker, I wouldn't change it for anything.
You speak of dog. This is not one of the questions. What breed?
Terrier mix. I can't give you I can't give you a specific breed, but I'll say
You know,
terrier.
you sound like there's a Peace Corps worker many years ago, more than 20 years ago. That Peace Corps worker was in Grenada, and someone gave her a dog. She loved the dog, love the dog. But it's what we call the potholes. All right. So she decided that she was going to return to the United States, with the dog. However, she had to put the breed of the
Hmm.
dog. And she was like flabbergasted for about a week in trying to do something. What is the breed of the dog? So she loved Liver Beach. She loved the Liver Beach. So she called the dog a Liver Terrier. That was the breed. So I'm sure there's some liver, and the dog was male, and she did not spade. So I'm sure there are probably some liver terriers running around somewhere in the United States. But in essence, we know that they're pothounds. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's discriminating to the Pottongs out there. I would like to call them Caribbean Terriers. I
Okay.
think they all need love too. So no discrimination on our lovely smart Pottongs in this country.
No, going back to the caretaker thing, on that specific moment,
Hmm.
and if you can help us to understand that moment that convinced you to say yes to this role. Describe for us that moment.
Um, I will I would say it's a series of moments that happen kind of in quick succession that kind of like made me know that maybe this was my time to step up for my country. There was a conversation with my father, and we normally like we meet at the kitchens in our house sometimes, and we were having an usual debate on like things in the country, politics, this kind of thing. And he kind of like told me, he was like, my time is over. I was kind of like chastising him, telling him like, you should push this more in Senate. You should try to get this more done. And he was like, no, my time is over. I did what I did for my country, and maybe it's time for you to start to think about how you can do your part. And I don't think he didn't really mean it in that sense, like me going to politics, but it was a situation where I kind of left an indelible mark that I had so much passion and so much love for my country, and I wanted it to mean something, and I wanted it to be directed into something. And eventually, obviously, from my volunteering with the party from before, I didn't really fall away when we lost, and we lost last election. I kind of like charged forth, kind of like being more involved. And when the opportunity came to put myself forward to for service for my country, I did not ever expected the role to be of a candidate or a future MP for this country. I always wanted it to be in a way that it was focused to policy building frameworks that help elevate youth and elevate Grenadians. And eventually, I kind of like transformed that love to focus on what is in front of me. If God put this in my path and He said that this is the opportunity I laid forth, that I was not going to back down. I felt that every a man has only so much time in his life to take certain risks, and I felt that it was time for me to take a risk on myself and my country, and that was what led me to this position I am right now.
Wonderful. You a politician's life, I always say, is about meeting people, listening to people, understanding people and what they need, and delivering to people in relation to what they need. So, with you meeting people, going out in your community and meeting people almost every day, if not every day, what would you say are the two or three most uh, heard issues in your community?
Um, the two, three top issues in my community, and I would like to say the South St. George's is a very unique part of our country. Most people who are from the South has migrated to the South, mostly from the countrysides and outer parishes of our country, mostly moving for economic and other job opportunities that may be within some, which is mostly the economic capital of the country right now. So a lot of the people who live and make up the community of the South St. George's are Grenadians from all parts of the country who believe in the economic advancement of themselves and their country, that they sacrifice and move there to make sure that they can make a living. So let's start there. And what our community right now need right now is provisions for Grenadians to excel and succeed within Grenada. So it starts with framework and policies that help wealth building and creation of support systems and social support systems for women and elderly. But it also means things like transportation shortages within our community. The South is not just the main road of the South. It's parts of Caliste. It's the parts of Woburn, Calavini, Woodland, Springs, Montu, Fenton Village, Carlin Park, all these areas that a lot of people live and is not serviced by the bus route. So transportation and having short transportation for people is a significant situation. Also for transportation for the workers who work at call centers and other hotels who don't have a night bus or 24-hour night bus situation where they can get home safely after a long night shift. This is something that we need to create to help build our people and build functionality and efficiency in our country. So when I look at it, it starts with transportation. It starts with our policy building. Next is our infrastructure. What are we doing to design and build and develop the south of St. George's so that it can facilitate even more economic empowerment for people? How does it focus for the type of infrastructure, smart climate infrastructure, that allows people to exercise and do yoga and do walks in the park, things that our community needs, not just for tourists, not just for the people who visit our island, but for the people who make our community excellent and amazing. We need to start focusing on the type of infrastructure that Grenadians need to thrive. We need to talk about things like having a proper entertainment district in the south so that our guests who come through the island have an area where we can see a snippet of our country that they can go back saying, man, I partied in Grenada, had some best food, even though they came on a Monday to Wednesday. We should not have our entertainment just fall on a Friday and a Saturday in the South. We need to create a district where it creates that kind of employment, that type of invigoration of our young people to hustle and to to start little parties and entertainment things that create more economic activity. We need to create the infrastructure and frameworks where we have parking structures, public parking structures, so that parking in Montu and other critical arteries in the south is not heavily burdened by parking on the side of the road. We need to create different type of public parking structures and development so people who do not have a place to park their vehicle outside their home can find a place to park and park safely so that the insurances would know that their vehicle is not on a road where they can get a scratch or bunks haphazardly. So these are the kind of areas that are being mentioned a lot in the South. It comes with housing, social housing, infrastructure, and these kind of things that help build people and livelihoods in the South.
In relation to leadership, in relation to leadership, I have to ask you this. Is there one thing that you believe that you learned about leadership that you did not understand, did not know about before you stepped into what I call the ring?
Uh, I wouldn't, yes, I think patience. I sometimes, when you come from a private sector household, you kind of are demanded to, get stuff done, get a result, and keep going. Like in sometimes in leadership, you can't have that expectation because people have different burdens. They have different um, things they carry in their own lives, and expectation has to vary against different people. And understanding and having that patience to come to a person's level and see where there's how they're seeing the problem and where they're seeing it from. Um, it's something that I've learned more in leadership role now is that patience with dealing with a situation and a calm that I think that I didn't think I had before, but under pressure you see traits in yourself that come out. So I think that is one of the things that I've seen in leadership right now.
Understanding that patience is probably your watchword now in terms of leadership. Uh, would there be two other words that you can put with patience to describe your style of leadership?
Oh well, if you're talking about my style of leadership, my style of leadership is I am not laissez-faire at all. I'm not someone who just let things just roll off its back. I kind of leaf, as they say. I am someone who is hard charging at issues. So I'm very bold. I don't like to see problems. I view problems as things that we haven't found solutions to yet, and if you focus enough energy to it, it can be solved. So I don't believe in a mindset of just giving up. I'm a person who has had to learn from my own self to build that self confidence and that fire within to keep pushing forward as a young person in this world. And my leadership style is one that I try to build consensus. So I don't think that we should just have an opinion and just go straight forward. You need to find a way to build consensus. That's a lot of way of communicating and building trust within people. So that's my leadership style. But I'm very bold. I'm someone who's not afraid to say something that I believe should be said. And I'm not afraid to be the only one standing up when everyone is sitting. So I would say that are types of my leadership style.
Okay. I was not planning to do this, but seeing that it came up, I just ask you to comment on it. This is something from one of the viewers. on the YouTube channel. And the person says, Mr. Diali is also fitting because I know his parents will keep him in check by giving him sound advice. He's not he is not grown up to see the type of grab like the guy that is owing about 6 million. Can you comment on that?
Um, I'm not making any comment on that last part because whatever, I'm not a person who I'm a Grenadian first, and as a Grenadian, I don't believe it's incumbent for me to like chastise anyone on their whatever situation or their character or anything like that. What I would say is that it is true that I am grounded by very two strong individuals who keep me very honest with how I think, and I always put up my ideas, my thoughts, the kind of hard charging ideas I have to change my community. I can normally put those first to my parents to be the ones who my sounding board, regardless of whether like they wanted politics for me and it is. I have chosen this path. They have deep love and for me, and they would always want to see the best for me. So I always lean on them the most to be the persons that help guide me to, or to my own future path. But I'd always sit with my parents and discuss with them. So yes, I do think I am grounded by strong individuals who have always held me down, and they'll continue to help hold me down. And it is for me now to show them that the individual they have raised is someone that embodies the things they have put instilled in me.
What does service look like to you for in a ordinary kind of week, not just public holidays? So what service mean like to you?
I guess service to me is doing the things when no one else sees you do it. It's answering that call to help that friend when few would help him out. When that person who is struggling to walk or coming out from the beach and they come and take their morning soak and is struggling to come out, reaching that hand out to help them get, to their vehicle or to a space they're sitting on the sand. It's volunteering when few volunteers are available. And that is what I believe service is. Service is putting some of yourself when there isn't much to give. To me, service is sacrifice. And once you start to like focus on not about you, but what you can do, not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country kind of mindset, then yeah, that is what I believe service is.
All right. Again, I'm going to kind of like break trend. I see somebody's calling. I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear whatever comment or question. Let's take it. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Doc.
Speak up and speak loud so that
Yes,
Mr. Diali
good
can
morning
help
to
you.
you, and good morning to your guest. I think I like what I'm hearing. I'm hearing what I think I would like to use. I made requests in the past for the people that I think will need, constituency, and I was turned down. But I'm making a request again. St. David's need a true leader. And I'm hearing this in the gentlemen who are interested in people and development, the economy, people. I'm making a request for him, for the constituency of St. David's.
So haven't you spoken to Miss Thompson?
No.
You need you need to speak to Miss Thompson. Before you call me another time, before you call me another day, okay, here's what. I can't give you a number for her on the air like that because I don't have the permission to share her number like that.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. Chris, do you know the office number?
No, I'm not sure,
No, you're not. We're not sure.
Nah.
So here's what. Before the program finishes, somebody's going to send us a number that you can get in contact with Miss Nolene Thompson.
Yeah.
And I assure you that the qualities that you're hearing coming from Brother Diali here that you believe should be emulated in St. David, you will find just that same thing with Nolene Thompson. Okay?
You see, I'm saying this because I had many interaction with his father. I call him my friend.
Okay.
And so I what I'm saying here is what I heard from his father.
Okay.
So I'm looking at sort of history.
Yeah. But I tell you, I'm telling you that Nolene is good quality. She's good stock.
Here's the problem I'm having.
Tell me.
In my constituency, if you call that name, that I won't give you right now, but I think you see it on your program there. Everybody will know me and what I do. I'm on the ground, very active.
Well, then you need to help Nolene.
And no one, despite the fact I'm on the radio for so long, and what I'm doing, which is visible, right, and tangible, no one reach out and say, let us talk.
Well, that is why I'm encouraging you to get in contact with Miss Thompson, because I'm sure she'd like to meet you, and she would love having discussions with you in things that she can do in the constituency of St. David. Yeah?
But I see, that's the problem I'm having here. Because you see, what I do is visible. For instance, the Catholic secondary school that has been built there, I cherish this because from the beginning, I caused that to happen. Yeah? And people knows that. The activities that I do, you're walking around in the community, you ask questions, you hear voices, you hear names. You never heard that name? You never heard that name before? If you're walking around, inquire. And this is the problem I'm having. I don't want anything from anybody.
Well, I don't want you. Here's what. I don't want you to continue having that problem. That is why I'm saying to you, continue listening. And somebody's going to send, maybe Nolene herself or a member of her team who's listening will send a number so that you can use that number. Or do you want to give us your number?
You have my number there.
No, I don't have your number, my friend.
Okay, I'll give you off there.
Well, then you'd have to, again, that means you'll have to wait until I finish the program and then you give me the number.
Yeah.
And I'll try my best to get it to Miss Thompson, okay?
Sure.
All right, my friend. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Bye-bye. It's real. It's 91.9. If someone is listening who belongs to Miss Thompson's team, and you can send us a number so that this gentleman will be able to get in contact with Nolene, that'll be great. Back to you. Don't think that I'm leaving you out like that, bro. Back to you now. Finally, here for this segment, what's your message? Right? What's your message to someone who feels that politics doesn't really change anything? I don't get anything from politics. And this is a statement that you'll hear coming from a lot of young people. What's your message to them?
I personally was one of those young people who was disenfranchised and felt like, politics doesn't represent me. But that is why I'm in politics, is because our politics is only a reflection of us. How can we expect more from our country when we're not expecting more from ourselves? Why I'm not going to be sitting here and want to complain about what a government official isn't doing and not doing. And I have the acumen, intelligence, and vigor and passion to do it myself. Like, we need to stop sitting as young people on the sidelines. We need to boldly stand up for our country right now at a critical juncture of our country. I am not going to say that it's completely easy. Some of us young people, we think that after we watch a YouTube video, that we are experts on the field and that everything like that can transpose to a country like Grenada. That is not the reality. There's a lot of bureaucracy, there are a lot of rules, there are a lot of things that we need to modernize and change. There are a lot of structures and systems of governance that we also have to update and abolish. These are all conversations that we need to have to change the system from inside, not sitting and chastising and blaming, but transforming from self, from being the change that we want to see in our country. So I tell every young person that this is a time in our country where we need to be extremely hopeful because we are seeing a transition from decades long consistency, strength, and governance from a leader of Dr. Mitchell's caliber who has been in politics in the vineyard for so long and has sacrificed so much personally. I don't think we're going to see an age of a politician like that anymore, where people spend 40 years of their life in politics. I think that is something that would become rarer and rarer. I think this is a time for young people to feel that angst, feel that level of things are not happening right, things just not happening, and feel that anger for the opportunities that's been left squandered in front of us. And start to boldly say that you need to make a change, that you need to step forward for your country, that you need to be that individual, that man or woman who sees their country's potential and votes for that potential, who put the X where it matters so that your country is guided by people who believes in country, who believes in sacrifice and believes in progress of its people. So that is where I would lead with that one.
You studied in Canada, right?
I studied in the UK
In the
and
UK.
Canada.
What did you study?
I studied economics, finance, and investments.
Okay, so you like a money man.
Uh, I would say not really. I would say I more intrinsically understand the complexities of the economic systems.
Hmm.
So I don't I wouldn't say just money. I understand the system that we money represents because money is just a trade of trust.
All right.
So that I kind of understand the economic system. So that's really what my focus and study was.
All right. So if my next couple of questions has to do with the economy, you'll be okay, right?
Of course.
Okay. So here's the first one. On the economy, what are you hearing directly from households and small businesses right now in your constituency one and Grenada by extension?
My constituency, for one, right now, is feeling the brunt of it. I was around my constituency a lot in the last month and a half. I kind of logged off social media for a bit and focused a lot on my community, being in shops, being in the supermarket, being everywhere I could hang out with my friends, being jogging on the beach, just everywhere. I was around. And Christmas Eve in the South, I have spent normally my entire childhood um growing up in the South, my entire adulthood. And I remember every Christmas Eve, the place was just packed with people, young people, who on Christmas Eve liming on the beach, going on KFC in the mall, just hanging around. And this Christmas Eve, it was like a ghost town in the South, a complete ghost town. There was a one or two areas where it had some parties, but when you pass by the parties, most of the people was on the side of the road, not inside the party. So that says to you, gives you an inclination of what is happening economically. You don't see people taking a wild zest spend. They ain't going and like come out after a payday and go and blow a few $100s and have some fun with their friends. They're not doing that because they have to be extra frugal with their spending. They have to balance with bills such as groceries, electricity, soon to be water. All these consistent bills that are needed for life is going up and up, and it's beyond any sort of adjustment to inflation with any salary increase can ever do, because you increase a salary 4%, 5% on a year per annum basis. And we are seeing inflation going up at 10, 12, 18%. So it is outpacing anything we can do in that realm. What we have to focus is on the type of models that allow people and allow Grenadians to get derive more out of work. And there's certain tools we can do as a government and policy making that allows Grenadians to feel more invigorated and feel that they're getting a lot more back from their work. So switching from the constituency level, I see it every day in the restaurants, my constituents are restaurant owners, supermarket owners. My constituencies are people who work within government, who work as a bus driver, who work as a conductor. Some of these people work in hotels and service industry. Some people own the hotels in the service industry. Some people are villa owners. Some people are returning citizens who just retire here. My constituency is made up of so many different people from so many different walks of life. And one thing is consistent in what they're saying is that the economic path that we're on right now is not sustainable. When you see that people are not coming out to in a restaurant, when Wall Street itself, that the buzzing Wall Street everybody knows, is not humming so much on a Friday and Saturday night, that's when you're wondering, well, something's wrong. And economically, we've seen a level of fear, stagnation, and a level of lack of bold innovation in our administrators of this country to figure out or outsolve the problems that we face. We see a lackluster vibe of proactive leadership, focusing on how we turn the dial on our economy as the problems we face. What we see is a situation where we have a laissez-faire kind of leadership, where just anything goes and no one knows what's happening. Economically, I speak to businessmen who have no guidance as to how they should plan their projections for the future. When situations such as port strikes and other things throw off their business in huge ways, and they cannot have any recourse to government to help them. There's so many different things, so many young businesses that lack the financing to really thrive in Grenada. Because commercial bank financing is an old model. We need to start to change the financing model in which businesses survive on for our country to thrive and grow. We need to create a lot more small business opportunities. A lot more young people need to not go for work, but go for a way to transform their ideas in their head into actual businesses. And with technology and information and all these things, there are a lot more ideas right now for young people. So how are we allowing them to take that risk in our country? Are we opening up the financing models, creating more things? We only have two big commercial banks. Are we creating a situation where we have in other investment companies in Grenada, such as private equity, venture financing, other types of small equity financing that helps build entrepreneurs and businesses? Because these are the things that I'm hearing from people that they hear people saying they have a bold vision, they see a lovely render, but what is actually happening on the ground? What are we the day to day? What are our the family who's coming home after working a long hard shift and they work so much overtime for the week, they barely see the children. And then when they see their pay slip, they just gutted that all these deductions, all these things, more NIS increase, more this, more that, and less pay. And they're the ones who have to pay the high rent in society in Grenada because rent is increasing higher than people's salaries. These are all parts and facets of our economy that is hurting our young people, is increasing the frustration, lowering the hope for our young. And we are not proactively adjusting the economic dials to make our country be a thriving community of people. And
Now,
that is my opinion.
based on what you've just said, I get the distinct impression that you're saying that cost of living is squeezing people. So then I must ask this question.
Like,
Um,
no.
what are the most practical steps that you think can be done to quickly bring some relief?
Cost of living is not just on just we quickly think like when you adjust cost of living, you think you give the people more money and that will help them keep track with the cost of living. That's not necessarily how you address cost of living. You have to focus on the factors of our economy. We're a highly dependent country. There are more people who do distribution businesses than there are farmers. That is a fact. You'll see more people buying a panel van and hustling from taking goods from CKs and going around the country than you'll see someone jumping into a farm business. That is a reality. We need to lower where our importation cost is coming from. We need to find better trade partners within the region that lower our cost of bringing goods into the country. We need to find new markets that make eating and buying goods more relative to our community. We also need to find ways where we can incentivize work. We need to figure out tax policies that help focus on young people and building their financial health. We can't just overtax the young people and throw all the burden on them and not expect to like alleviate and help them come up, because what we're doing is sacrificing one generation for another. So when I look at the cost of living situation, we need to get better trade links. We need to increase our ability for Grenadians to earn a better living in this country. We need to make certain things tax like, how is it a company like a foreign investor could come in and bring in a hotel and have so much tax benefits, so much things they can get away, concession free, this, that. And we don't have the same for our young people and our locals. We need to start to employ these kind of economic strategies across the board for our people. It should not be in this day and age that we have hotels that are in an unfair marketplace where foreign hotels have concessions on bringing in all their goods from other countries, all these things, and that they don't pay any tax. They don't pay anything on that. And then the local hotel owners pay all those tax burdens, pay everything like a local. They pay corporate tax, they pay VAT, they pay this, they pay on the tax on the port, and they still have to put the same kind of pricing as the international brands. Cost of living is a multifaceted thing. It is not just on the people who are the customers of a business. It's sometimes the business owners themselves, because they have to know constantly feel the pressure of changing demand in their suppliers. Their suppliers' costs are changing, and therefore it's transferring onto them, and they are adjusting their economic sales to the realities of what they're facing. So they pass on the cost to consumers. Are we as a government now coming to these businesses and saying, how can we create a way that it does not hit the consumer, hit the Grenadian that hard? Are we going to have a couple VAT-free days of shopping in the country? Are we going to allow certain goods and importation of certain foods to come in tax-free? Are we going to make a certain basket of goods in Grenada protected so that people can have a healthy lifestyle and healthy food to eat? These are the things that, because if you don't eat your medicine, you're going to be paying for it in cancers and different health issues that our society face. So that also affects our cost of living because it increases the burden of the state on a lot of different areas. We're losing a lot of talented Grenadians to health crises. And I'm seeing this as a serious cost to our society. So it's multifaceted. We need to figure out how we help make Grenadians' lives better and start doing it from the mode of policy making. And that would affect cost of living.
All right. I have two more questions for you, and then we're gonna take a break, and so you can grab maybe a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or something, and maybe a glass of water or something, and then come back. So here's the first of the two, and this question might show your biasness. So if you don't want to answer, you can feel free and say, "No, Andre, I'm not going to answer this one." So here we go. If you had to pick one sector to unlock jobs fastest, what sector would that be and why?
I would think it's the service sector. And why? When we say service, it's so broad. You services is the people who work in a credit union and a bank. It's the hotel worker. It is the accountant, the professional. It is the yacht person who's helping a yacht broker, the person who helping doing engine maintenance on a boat, the fisherman, the plumber. All these things are services. Now, to unleash our potential as Grenadians, we need to become more ownership of what we do. And that comes with unlocking our service sector. And we need to make certain sectors in our country focus on growth. And if that means that we take certain sacrifices or certain thing where we allow certain sectors to grow through tax benefits and other levels of control that we can help embolden this area, I think that will be tremendous benefit to our country. We need to start seeing a lot more service improvement in our country so that we create a level of niche tourism that benefits our country. We are not a mass tourism destination. We need to focus on high service quality, the best watermelons, the best this, because the world was so full of fake and copycats. The real is now the authenticity that people crave. The true vibe of being a Grenadian and the food we cook. We need to create that service excellence in our country. In how we prepare food, how we showcase it. I don't believe when I buy food and I get in a cardboard box on Carnival, I'm hurt. I'm waiting for the day I'm in Spice Mass and I buy some food on the road and I get in a fig leaf or a calabash with Grenada Spice Mass 2026 on it. That's the kind of service excellence that we need to see in our community. And I'm not seeing it. So this is the kind of thing I would like to embolden as through government policy and other things to increase our civic excellence by focusing on the businesses in the service sector. And that is a sector I believe has huge and tremendous potential in our country.
How do you balance big national plans with what I would call the everyday reality of bills, groceries, and school expenses? How do you balance that?
You have to balance that with also communication. People who are not guided by leadership vision and communication of that vision would feel disenfranchised and feel that their leaders are not understanding their problems. So, one first thing is we need to communicate a vision that all Grenadians can understand and believe in and see the certain steps we're taking to go to that vision. Sometimes that within that vision, it comes with some sacrifice. But if you communicate why this sacrifice was needed for that, then Grenadians will be on board. I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to remember when we had a structural adjustment program in this country, and we taxed and changed certain tax things to make sure that we created a better fiscal health for our country, that our country can rebalance its debt payments and make sure that we can move from strength to strength. These are things that has to be communicated more to our people because our younger generations are more on social media. They're more on their phones that they are looking at a newspaper. We need to communicate a vision that all Grenadians can see themselves a part of and also feel connected to, feel that they are working towards that greater vision of Grenada. And that in itself would put people's service and country in front of them because they know what I'm sacrificing for is for my children to have better healthcare in Grenada. For my children, I don't have kids, but I have a lot of nieces and nephews. And I want to see that they're growing up in a Grenada that is beautiful, healthy, and can survive the climate shocks that we would have in our future. And they would have a community. They don't have to leave our shores to get success. They can stay within our shores and attain success and happiness. That is the kind of vision I have for my country and my countrymen.
And I laugh not because of what you said, but because of a comment somebody put up here, and I'm going to give you that one so you can go to your break too. And the person says, Minister of Finance. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. The person said, Minister of Finance. Listen, he's mainly talking about what is needed and not complaining or embarking on character assassination. The whole NDC did, as the whole NDC did in their campaign. I know you're not going to comment on that, but that's just a comment from one of our viewers there. So here's what we're gonna do now, bro. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 commercials lined up. I'm gonna give you a break to get you a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or something, and then we'll come right back after the commercial break. Thank you, and
Thank
stay
you.
with us. This is Real 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. Stay with us.
Radio to amplify voices in Grenada. Whoa! Tune in on the spice side, hear the airwaves free. On the radio see.
It is said the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself, a taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Grenada, get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 6th annual Football on the Lights competition. Rosehill Plainfield in St. Patrick kicks off from Sunday, February 15 and ends on Saturday, 2nd May. Get ready for intense football competition. All teams will be able to register 20 players. Players must be in uniform and numbered. Registration fee, senior $400, under 17 enters free. Cash prizes up for grabs. First place winner in the senior category will walk away with $4,000. And the first place winner in the under 17 category walks away with $1,800. Second place, $3,000. And under 17, $1,500. Plus individual prizes. Who will dethrone the defending champion? Bridgetown Football under the Lights. For more information, contact Redhead at 538-7509 or Philip at 406-9580. No unauthorized vending allowed. Single game will be played on Wednesdays from 6:30 p.m. and doubleheader games on the weekend.
Classic Furniture. Our items are made from the best local wood available on island. Our products are made with love, care, and the experience we have gained over the years. Why do you even contemplate using substandard furniture, which is imported, when you can get the best made right here in Grenada? Our factory is located in the cultural village of Chantimel and our showroom on Ben Jones Street, St. Andrew. We are also noted for refurbishing that piece of furniture to its initial look. When looking for quality furniture, there is only one place to look, and that's Classic Furniture, where we take care of your needs with utmost care. So give us a call today and put your furniture woes to rest. Classic Furniture, where love and luxury is combined to provide the ultimate satisfaction. Call us today on 442-4645. Classic Furniture.
Grenville Cooperative Credit Union Limited advises members and the general public of new operating hours at its branches. The Customer Service Center at Seton Brown Street, Grenville, is open Monday to Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and on Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The main office on Jubilee Street, Grenville, is open Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Lucas Street St. George's branch operates Monday to Thursday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Fridays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. For the Grandance branch, Monday to Thursday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Fridays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We look forward to serving you. Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville.
Real expression on 919 Real FM. Unfiltered truth, cultural pride, and the power of radio to amplify voices in Grenada. Woo! Tune in on the spice side, hear the airwaves free read. On the radio see. Whoa. No sugar-coated lyrics, no fabricated vibe, just the raw truth that flow like.
It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the world. Andre Donald here, and this morning we have with us Brother Christopher Diali, and he, of course, will be with us maybe for the next half an hour or so. Maybe, you never know. But I do have some good news for the gentleman who called in, and I did promise that I was going to get you some information as to how you can reach Miss Nolene Thompson. The office for NNP St. David, you can call 414-4978. 414-4978. If you call that number, I'm sure that someone will be able to answer, and they will be able to put you in contact with Ms. Nolene Thompson. Chris, you're back with us, and welcome back to our program. And again, thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning. So you see, we are able to get that number for that gentleman. So he can get along with Miss Thompson and assist her in making sure that St. David's goes where it should be.
And that's proactive leadership right there,
Let's look
Andre.
at your vision as it relates to South St. George. I don't know what you laughing. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I need to tell you that your uncle usually has a hangout. Well, the place is open every day, but he usually cooks on Wednesday evening. So you need to get in contact with him and probably bring up some guys and yourself and make sure you direct him into what to cook, and bring up some guys and make a hangout in St. Patrick on a Wednesday evening. Don't forget that, right? Don't forget that.
First of all, I just want to remind you, my roots are deeply embedded in St. Patrick's.
Well, yeah,
So
I'm
go,
just
so
trying to bring
so
you
I'm not
guys.
a, I am. I just want the invite, and I'll be there, my brother. I love my belly, and
Oh, by
I
the
would
way,
come.
I
I would
have
come.
something else to tell you as you said that. Remember the name Margaret?
Margaret, yes, yeah.
Yes. Well, she said to me, next time I talk to you, say hello to her son. So that, yeah, I forgot. It's a good thing you say, hey, I'm from there. Right. But next time, she said, next time you talk to him, say hello to my son. So Margaret says hello. Now, when you say South Vision, what does that mean in plain terms for, say, the communities in the south of the island? When you say South Vision?
Well, I don't think. I think South Vision just encapsulates a lot what I want into one kind of thing. I have a deep love for my community. And when I traverse in areas in through the valley, Guankai Hill, Fenton Village, Coffee Bow Hill, the Stones, I talk to some of these people who have been in the community 30, 40 years, and they see the massive tidal shift in change in the community. A hillside that only had trees now is laced with houses. We see development happening before our eyes so fast in the south. So when our moves are reactionary to the south, we already a step behind. We need to be proactively developing the south. To me, that's how I see it. The English came to this country and they urban developed one part of this country, the tongue of St. George. We have gotten independence as Grenadians, as a people, as a nation state, and we have never truly urban developed our city that emboldens and embodies us, where people can say when they come to Grenada, man, these Grenadians have a view of themselves and the country. Like, by the way, we design our community. We cannot have communities that are promoting health and promoting community based love and businesses and that kind of thing without building the infrastructure to support that. Sometimes we see people filling in the gaps where the absence of the state, where we allow development to happen so haphazardly for so long that things just happen. We just see a man knocking up a thing or pulling a container and start a business on the side of the road here. We see a man making a thing and knock up a shack and end up staying here. It is not, people are not doing that because they want to. They're doing that because there's no availability of space, no planning, urban planning, so they can have businesses in the footpaths of people, where they can have vending businesses, barber shops, nail saloons. I mean, there's so many young women who I see looking for rent for a nail saloon, and they can't get it in the south, even though a lot of the businesses in the south, the rent level is unsustainable for them to start out at that level. They can't pay $4,000 to start when their business right now making 4 to 5 thousand a month in their home. So how are they going to help build a business if they're not in the convenient areas? So when I talk about the South vision, I talk about a vision that I think is should be focused on Grenadians developing Grenada for the future Grenadians. I want to see planning with thought. When I see we post that, oh, we fixed a bridge or a little entrance is somewhere here, and then on the next side of the road, higher up, where we have, and actually I'll say it out right here. Anybody go in the south, past driving in the south today, look around. When you drive on the side that faces umbrellas and Spice Sun Mall and those hotels, there are sidewalks on both sides of the road for pedestrians to walk past, drainage, everything. Just move to the next side of Montrouge, on the other side by Blue Horizon, in the back of the mall, and see that there is no sidewalks on either side of the road, no proper drainage, and that's the same road, and no lighting in the night for when tourists are leaving their hotel and taking a couple stroll down to the beach. I drive past there and I have to make sure I put my lights on high beam to make sure I'm watching for the people walking on the road because there's no sidewalk. That is happening in our country today. And we are saying, no, I agree that we can't eat roads and stuff. I agree. But we also have to develop with thought of the people who want come to our country and also the people who living in our country. I'm a Grenadian who jogs and walks and try to keep fit and keep the belly down by walking out in my community. And I don't ever do that with headphones because I have to have my ears sharp for whatever vehicle I hear close by. And we have seen Grenadians die on our road in Lansapine and on a stretch from just taking a walk out in the morning. Not enough safe areas. So when I talk about the vision for the South, I'm focusing on not just lives and livelihoods, because I want to see Grenadians and people in the South move to the South to hustle, build themselves, and make money. I want to see people who are planning from they had dreams of a home and then they realize I hit that dream and I want a dream of a second home to invest to build an Airbnb property. And then after I do that, I will take a next investment and do something. I want Grenadians to feel emboldened to invest in our country, not just waiting for a returning citizen to come here and spend the US that they worked for hard in the US for. I want Grenadians feel that they have a ticket of success in this country. And if we design and develop the South to host that level of that hopefulness, that level of vision by designing and planning for the future Grenadian needs, then we are preparing our country for more economic prosperity. If from the moment a person comes off the airport, the first place they come through is in the south, the first thing they see when they drive through the south is what they would see of Grenada, of our development. We need to showcase where we see our country now and where we see ourselves going future, where we are building towards. Because if we can build the south to encapsulate social housing, both public and private partnerships. We increase more student housing. We increase investment by Grenadians to not to be a part of that urban development and that revival of our community. I don't want the capital to come from out offshores. I want the Grenadian capital in this country, close to 3 billion plus in savings accounts, to be reinvigorated to invest back in our country. The government started with savings bonds, but what about development bonds? What about the development bonds that we can create to have actual urban development in our communities? These are the things that we need to open a conversation about, because I'm talking to young people in the community who want more, who believe that we deserve more in the world where we're talking about AI and future robots, and like we watching a movie from iRobot that's happening in front of our eyes, and we're wondering, wow, the world is going so fast. And then in our community, we're just expected to expect less because it's Grenada. No, we want to see our country do the best. We want to get the best out of our country. And only how we can do that is by coming together as a community and saying this is how we can all, we have to, it's not from just one person, not from me just saying that this has to happen. This has to happen by consensus, by people in Fenton Village telling me how they'll make, getting access to their homes better. I want people in Granans Valley who are suffering from lack of planning and drainage, where and their pillars and their homes are suffering. I want the people who have been living on land and developing their home for 20 something years and still don't own the land they're on. It's a sad reality. We have to make sure that if we urban develop and urban plan our community, we can facilitate everybody, the future Grenadians, the Grenadians of today, and all the people in our community that are affected, the
So then,
elderly. So go ahead, yeah.
based on that, what would you say is the biggest untapped advantage that the South has that the South is not using enough?
The South have the vibes. The South is the vibes of this country. When someone, I go many times and I've partied in Grenville. I've gone on a moonlight and sit up and lie down on a long wall and watch up in St. Andrews and just sit and relax. I love all parts of my country. But the South is the vibes. We have the best parties, the best clubs, the best hotels, the best accommodation. Is the vibe spot. When you have some people, when their family come, that's all they see. They don't see the South, they don't see the rest of the island. So if we have so much money coming through the south of the island, when a tourist boat come, most of these people come to the south of the island. I talk about all my friends and the guys I know now on Granans Beach. Every one of those young men are hustlers. I am These guys know how to make a dollar. They reinvest in their equipment for their chairs. They see other new things to do. They add umbrellas, they added services. And when I see other things like the water sports districts starting, where other people are along the community of Granite Beach is taking economic advancement by development. That is what I'm talking about. We're missing the opportunity of developing our community for more economic gain. I supposed to park up, or a Grenadian supposed to park up in one place. I'm not driving 5 different spots across the zone. Park up in one place and just walk like I do in Barbados and Grosley Lane, St. Lucia, and all around the Caribbean and different islands where there's an entertainment district. You could go from this restaurant to this bar to this one to go by this spot and this hookah lounge, and it need to make the place friendly to walking and enjoying, not just for the clubs and parks, but for like the areas where a couple could sit down and have a conversation and laugh and watch the ocean. That is not only for the people who sit in a 400 US room. We need to make it where everybody in our community is seen and addressed. So yes, I see the economic missing in this community of the South to create more economic avenues for our people, more areas for business to happen, more areas like our government started the vendors market in the South. And I look at the vendors market, I'm there a lot. I patron the bars and the food establishments there. I go on the beach and I jog. I always buy a vendors market. And I see that from the time it's built, we see has so much growth. There's so much businesses that are now synonymous with vendors market, like Esther's Bar. People don't even say they go in vendors market, they say they go in Esther's Bar. Because of that hardworking Grenadian family who built a brand and a business in the South because of the location they are at in the South on the beach. We should have, there are parts of the Venice market, we should have created a second story of that, created more booths, created a commercial parking lot so that people don't be parking on the gravesite right next by the Catholic Church. We needed to develop to increase the potential for our people to take advantage of. And that is all I'm saying. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not trying to come with some crazy ideas. I'm just saying let's embolden our vision by thinking more grand instead of just creating 20 booths. We see that these things are winning. Bars and restaurants, people not necessarily are arts and crafty anymore. Yes, but we need to have those vendors for those people who still need it. But we need to create more diversity, more showcasing of our local talent. A jazz bar where there's so many young Grenadians who do violin and different trumpets and saxophone. Have open mic nights and poetry areas and all those creative potential our people have. Create the atmosphere for those people to thrive. And if we urban develop and plan for a community where we make sure all Grenadians are winning, then we will have a winning future for our country. It starts in the South. We build the South for the future, and Grenadians and all of Grenadians will thrive.
If we revisit this particular interview in say a year after you would have won your constituency.
Don't jinx me.
No, I'm not jinxing you. I'm just speaking it into reality. That's a different way to look at it. I'm speaking it into reality. What is one visible improvement you would want people to be able to point out in relation to this particular interview?
I want people to hold me accountable for the fact that I want to make urban development and planning my cornerstone of what matters in the South.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that if we develop the South, I see a plan for the South that is in phase one, phase two, phase three, and phase four. I'm not sitting idly by and just hoping on hope. We have the tools through AI and so many young Grenadians who are on our soil, who are engineers and architects, and having conversations with these people, I'm constantly reinvigorated that we have all the talent and potential we have in our country to do it. So I am making that a cornerstone of who I am and what I bring to the table is that I want development for my people. I think it happens to be in not just in infrastructure, but in planning. We need to plan in a forward mentality. And that is what I want. I want people to hold me accountable for the things I say. And I don't idly I say things for saying it. I am not someone who would just say what's easy to hear because it's a buzzword today. I sit down, I contemplate, I reflect, I research, and I communicate to other people to hear perspectives to make sure that we come with a holistic vision to go bring Grenadians forward. And that is all I want to bring to the table. I want to make sure my community is better for all people in my community, the elderly, the young people, the hustlers, the middle class, the upper class, the business owners, the employees. I want everyone to feel that I am creating policies so they can be seen. So they can be seen as Grenadians that I'm working for them. I may not, the constituency is large, and I may not get to shake every hand and get to see every person. But my love for my community is real, and I would not do anything in my political endeavors that is not grounded in love of country, love of people, making sure that we create something that lives and outlasts us all, and to live in a society where I can see my neighbor and my neighbor happy to see me. I want to live happily in my country and see all of us thrive. So that is how I see the South and the South vision and what I bring to the table.
You've spoken about transforming the political system to include more youth. What does this inclusion mean beyond just uttering slogans?
It means putting those people at the table, because I love how people love to say, like, like, we need more youth in politics, we need more youth in this, and need more youth in that. I think sometimes people say that's a placating thing to youth and don't really mean it in action. Because sometimes youth comes with a lot of exuberance and lack of experience. But it does not mean the passion cannot be channeled in a successful way. We need youth with experience. We need people who understand the system to help us learn the system so that we can make our ideas do well in that system. We need to not just tell youth, yeah, we need you at the table, but listen to their ideas. Look, put your ego from being 20, 30 years in a position and a person thinking they just come in and they know better. Because be honest, things that are 20, 30 years relevant is not relevant to today. The things young people, the tools they have at their hand right now are more advanced than I had when I was a kid. Google was a revolution in when I was growing up. And now kids with the advent of ChatGPT and other different AIs and Anthropic and these things, kids have more intelligence and know-how and way to perfect and make more efficient everything they do. So kids are more equipped than my generation and my parents' generation. That's what technology gives. It gives more and more to younger and younger people. So I want those young people, even the people that are younger than me, I'm just 35 years old. I want people in their early 20s to tell me the latest and greatest of what's happening. What is the new things happening? And maybe we can learn how we can incorporate these things or protect against the harms of these things in our society. And only how we can know what is harmful and what is good and what is needed is by talking to the young people, engaging them, hearing their opinions, hearing their fears, hearing how they view life and how their perspective of the world is different from ours. I will grow up in a social media generation. I was talking to a young person who was 16 years old, and he's like, "Bro, I'm off social media. That is bad for the brain and all these things." And I'm like looking at this young dude, and I'm like, "Wow, so different from our generation." And things are changing faster. Kids know a lot more now. So time to bring them at the table, bring them in a conversation, and put them next to you, and put a little ego aside and listen more to our young people. And maybe we can bridge that impasse where we feel that young people just want everything now and they don't have no patience, to versus how do we help the young people get what they want and make sure that we all live in a society that is a compromise and a reality for us all. So that is all I'm saying.
So my next question to you is a very, very simple one. And it goes like this. I don't join in no party. I don't want to be in no party. What are two or three things you would say to the young person who would say that to you in relation to how they can still help if they still ain't joining no party?
I tell that to a lot of young people. You don't have to be outside politically and card carrying member of the New National Party or the National Democratic Congress or even the movement to feel that you're a patriot or you're doing a part. Politically does not necessarily mean. I want people connected and knowing what's going on in their country. I want young people to know what are the latest policies and laws that are being drafted. I want them to understand what is the problems our country is facing and the things we need to do to get through that period of our time right now. These are the realities that we need to start talking about. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right. Now, if a 20-year-old, 20, 21, if that person was to say to you, I don't trust politics, what would you say to them without making them feel that you're judging them?
I was one of those people. I didn't trust politics and politicians. I think they just say anything they want to get your vote. And I don't blame young people for thinking that. When they normally tell me that to my face, I kind of smirk and I say, I don't blame you. Brother, I was in your position. But I ask you, is just have a conversation. Let us just talk. Like I tell that to all the people who support the other party. And I talk to the people who support my party and the people who are independent. I want to communicate and talk to my Grenadians and we realize we're not so far apart. We all love this country. We all want to see best for our families and our loved ones and for our future children and their children. We all want the best for Grenada and Grenadians. So how do we get that together? Sometimes we put a political spin on it, but the reality is that political parties have ideological vision of how to attack problems. I believe in my party because it encapsulates all of my beliefs and my morality. I'm a Christian conservative. I have I'm a capitalist. I'm a business person, and I'm a libertarian in how I view people's personal freedoms. So all these things are in my party and in my leadership, and it made it part of the DNA. So I saw myself in the New National Party. I didn't feel that literally was my home. My grandmother laid my bed in it, made my bed in it, and I went and I made myself comfortable. I am at home in the National Party. You may not always politically agree, but what we can always agree on is that we all love our country and want to see the best. So young people who don't necessarily want to identify with a party or with a politician or sometimes disenfranchised, I'm saying just start with a conversation. If you see me at a bar, you see me anyway, just talk. If you have a view that you think that I should bring up or you think that I'm wrong for saying this, I'm not a beast. You can always approach me and I'll talk to anyone. I want to hear from my community members and from everybody across Grenada of how we help make Grenada better. It don't have to be that you're always in the front and helping in politics. You could be in the back calling people, telling people of my ideas and what I envision for this country so that we can get more people on board as a movement and as a political movement to make sure that we are successful in next general elections. Different ways of helping.
Many Grenadians feel that decisions about them are being made not with them.
Yeah.
Do you share that view?
Yeah. I feel like that. I feel like that. I'm a young Grenadian and I feel disrespected, to be honest. I feel like we're not owed some sort of like straight up conversation of where we're going as a country, what are we dealing with geopolitically, like what are the headwinds, and open discussion on how we can solve these things. I feel that we're not being told everything. We're kind of being left out. The information is getting less and less, and people are sitting down trying to solve the reality they're facing alone without true leadership. So I feel a lot of like those people right now. I'm a Grenadian first and foremost. So a lot of the angst that some people feel, I very much feel, but
This is Real 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. Oh, I've lost that. link with you're back. We had lost your link for a bit there. So I'm gonna ask you a new question. If you had direct access to cabinet for 1 hour, what would be the first uncomfortable truth, I dare say, that you would put on the table?
That they still haven't focused on plans and policies that actually benefit the working class Grenadian. The working class Grenadian is going to work every day from 8 to 4, sometimes clocking in at 8 o'clock to go to 4 o'clock and night shift. There are a lot of Grenadians who are working very hard, pushing this engine of this country, and they are being stifled with increased bills by levies such as Nawasa and Grenelec and all these things. Like, we don't have any thought process of how the ordinary working class Canadian is feeling at the moment. So if I wanted to shake up cabinet, I was like, kind of look at down at us or something, because we're not seeing you looking at us and seeing that you're making proactive plans to fix what we're dealing with on a daily basis. We're seeing justifications for increase of costs, but we're not seeing justifications for how the Grenadians can bear the cost. So I think like it's a huge chasm that's being created, and we need to kind of like have a type of leadership that steps down a bit and meet the people where they're at and try to figure out how we go forward as Grenadian and Grenadian people.
For the next question, I want you a straight answer, and I want it to be backed by some reasoning. Why do you believe that Grenada is worse off today than 3 years ago?
I think we're worse off because I'll say this. Everybody in this society would have probably a different viewpoint based on political perception of their own reality. So to depend on where you fall on, some people may view it vast differently. But I look for the people who stay quiet and independence. We're vastly different 3 years now because we don't have the economic momentum of the economic momentum from the last administration, the NMP administration, is now grinding to a halt because they were not greasing and pushing and creating more momentum. It was a lot of yes, 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 but no strategic of how do we take this to grow that? What are we investing in growing sectors of economy so that we can have a quick spin-off, more employment? These things. Are we taking trips to make sure that we bring back capital to increase scholarships, to increase this? I'm not sure what any international trip has brought back to this country. And the burdens of cost is getting higher and higher. I'm seeing more costs on government, more costs on government, but no actual vision of what these costs are investing into. What is the investment for our country? We've seen people who are building homes for people, but if a hurricane comes this season and we get category 3, 4, God forbid, can these homes withstand any of these things? Is that wasted capital of our country right there? We need to create things that can last for our country and our countrymen. So yeah, there's a lot of different things, my brother. So
Finally,
yeah.
go on. No, go ahead.
No, I'll just say yeah. The vast difference in the quick straight answer, vast difference 3 years and now is leadership.
Finally, this morning for you, speak to the people from your constituency. Some people call it the Great South. Some people call it Deep South, but we know it's South St. George. Speak to that constituency and let them know, as of today, why you would want them to support you and the new National Party when the next general elections are called.
I just want to put in a new phrase of the South. I would like to say the indomitable South. Indomitable South. I think we have such a great and vibrant community in the South St. George. A community that is diverse, and a microcosm of all what's great and wonderful about our country and the extreme amount of potential we have in our country. When individuals who hear about me or anything like that, I want them to tell them right now that I want to embody my campaign and what I want to bring to my community is one of service and self-sacrifice to make sure we all win. I am not afraid to look deeply at any problem. I'm not afraid to say when I am wrong. I'm not afraid of doing the things that fewer encourage us to do. I, the South people are fearless people. I want to represent that. I want to represent the people who leave their homes and a comfortability in the countryside and come and live in a smaller, harder circumstance because they want to invest in their futures and their future. I want the South is built of our bravest set of Grenadians, the Grenadians who take a risk in business, the ones who take a risk in life, the ones who hustle, the ones, all these are the spirit of the future of Grenada. And I want to embody that in my endeavors that represent the community. I don't want to shy away from the hard problems. I want to stand 10 toes down and face the hard problems that we all face in this community straight eyed and direct. I want to look our problems directly and go after them. I don't want to say a problem is too big for us because then we can always find more people to help us take on those bigger things. There's so many people in our community who are willing to be 10 toes down and fight for our country. And we need to create that spirit, that type of representation that not just represents our hopes and dreams and what we want from our communities and the policy, but what creates that kind of vision and emboldens for the next politician behind me. I want to create a standard in the South in terms of politics that will be unmatched. And I'm saying it right here and right now. I'm not stepping back. I'm going to go further than any other representative in the South. I want to do more. The Honorable Gary, the I saw the vision what you did, and I want to take that and run with it in a more grander and bolder way. I see what the the heroes and the patriots that I stand on their shoulders of in this country. And I want to make sure that the South is put on the pedestal that it deserves. We need to make sure our community is one that reflects us and reflects our ideals of like camaraderie, trust, love, making sure that when you see one neighbor, even though you see a man suffering, you help a man up. We need to come together as a community. And I'm not a person who tears down another Grenadian for my advancement. I'm not that type of person. We may not always agree, and we may not have political ideologies that are different. But what I focus on people I want around me is people who are filled with love, love of country, love of people, love for making sure that every Grenadian wins, love for the idea that we are not just a people who want just a basic. We want more. We want the best, and we need to focus on that. So yes, I want the people of the South St. George's to know that my candidacy is one of thoughtful and prudent planning. I am going to be a person who is going to be in the community wherever you are. I could be at Junction, be on the side of the road, having a beer with the boys. It could be on Grandin's Beach. It could be me playing tennis at the court. It could be me sitting on umbrellas. I'm a part of my community because my community is a part of me. And I would be in Woburn buying my lambi by the same man I've always buy my lambi from. I would be by the same lady on in top by Calavini where I always buy my barbecue from. These are this is what makes me who I am. And the South is who I am. And what I want to bring the South is the next step in our country's future. that we are building a constituency and a vision for people that is greater and grander than anything has done before.
I said last one, but here's the last one. I must ask you this: what's up with the boxing, man? You're doing some boxing thing. What's going on with that?
Don't worry, the next one is a 3-on-3 basketball tournament I'm working on right now. I'll come back to the boxing, and my boy calling me every day, and I haven't answered his call yet when we starting the next boxing tournament. But it's just I'm planning, but it's in the works, my brother, in the works.
It's in the works. So you have 3-on-3 basketball. When is that?
We're trying to do that for in March. I'm working with some wonderful guys right now to plan a beautiful tournament and to do that in the south of St. George's. And I want it to be a paid tournament where it's cash prize because times are hard right now.
Yeah.
I want to pull out the best talent in this country, and I want to make sure them boys, after they take a good sweat, they have some money to go back home to their families because grocery price is high, and after them men take a sweat that they eat. So
Sneakers
like
price, sneakers price high. You're crazy.
you understand?
You gotta have
So
good sneakers for that.
I'm planning on making sure that we have excellent activities. This is going to be a long, tough year for a lot of people, and I want to make sure that I am in the South and not just doing the boxing, but the basketball. I want to do fun days. I want to do things for the mothers. As more time progresses, I'm trying to create more and more activities for our community so more people can meet me, more people can get to speak to me and know me and know my values and know my plans for this community. And that is all I'm trying to do. I want people not just to view me as an NMP candidate, but view me as a Grenadian who loves his country and who only wants the best for his country.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna say something next. You're just supposed to listen to it, and then you're gonna smile. And you're just after I'm gonna actually mention a name, and after I mention a name, you're gonna smile, and then you're gonna say good morning. We're not gonna say where that connection is. We're gonna say good morning to Jenny down in Lansopine. I know she's viewing at this time, so we can't leave her out at all. Good morning to Jenny, and you're going to say good morning too.
I'll sing good morning to Auntie Jenny. I can't wait to see her and have a chat too.
Hey Chris, take care of yourself, man, and thanks for the moment. Yeah.
Thank you, my brother, and it's a pleasure being here with you and your audience. And I want to wish you a beautiful rest of the month and have a wonderful day, my brother.
All right, then, Chris, take care of yourself. God bless.
All right.
It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. Speaking there with Christopher Diali, who, of course, is the caretaker for the constituency of the South of St. George. And it was a pretty interesting conversation, wasn't it? Yeah. Join me again for more next week. I don't know who I'll have next week. I don't know that as yet. But I will definitely have someone. This is real. 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Stay with us. We've got more for you in the morning time.
Real expression on 919 Real F.
Angel's Beauty Salon and Barbershop, Bruce Street Mall, St. George's, your one-stop destination for all things beauty. Hair services, relaxes, waves, treatments, braids, cornrows, natural hairstyles, locks and lock installation, wig installation, nail services, acrylic nails, gel nails, pedicures, and more. Call or WhatsApp us today, 1473-403-4421 to book your appointment today.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Seasons.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of colors.
Color